Hey loves, it's Josie and welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. We're going to do something a little different today. We are working with the Ching. Yes, and it's still a pick your message type reading. So what we're going to do is give you a moment, and hopefully you can see these papers properly. And I want you to choose A, B, or C. I'm going to hold them up for you, okay? These are what you call hexagrams. Choose A, B, or C, and you're going to get the messages for whichever letter you chose. Feel free to listen to all of the messages or just the one you chose. Some may resonate, some may not. That's totally up to you. Take it and place it wherever it belongs in your life, loves. Okay, so I'm going to let you look at it, A, B, or C. And you can also pause this video and you should be able to take a moment and think about it. Take a deep breath in, exhale, and think about which letter you want. Okay, so this is the book that I'm reading the messages from, just so y'all know, and I'll give you the information in the link as well, just for reference, right? Okay, I'll be right back with your messages. Alrighty, so for those of you who chose A, these are your messages, okay? You chose the hexagram that is labeled Thunder Lake, okay? Thunder Lake. 1 second. Alrighty, so I had to excuse that plane. Anyway, the hexagram you chose is Thunder Lake, right? And the title to these messages are Kwai Mei, the marrying maiden. Okay, these messages again are for the people who chose A. In relationships, desires lead to misfortune. Behave with discipline and balance. Kwai Mei is concerned with the guidelines for proper conduct of relationships, whether they be social, romantic, or work-related. The image here is of thunder rolling the surface of a lake, and it suggests that relationships can be disturbing to our peace of mind unless they are established and governed under proper principles. Okay? The nature of relationships is that they lead us into the desire state. We begin to desire another, desire recognition, desire retribution, desire a particular outcome in a given situation. All of these desires lead us away from the equanimity that we aim to maintain as students of the I Ching. This hexagram often comes as a sign that you are in danger of sacrificing your composure in an effort to affect a relationship. When someone does not treat you as you would like, you are forced with a choice as to what to do. While it may be tempting to abandon the relationship in anger or act aggressively to produce a result, neither of these is consistent with proper principles. You are counseled instead to return to inner independence, acceptance, modesty, and gentleness. The greatest influence is always had through inner discipline and balance. Less subtle measures may produce more immediate results, but they are seldom lasting. This hexagram also teaches us that rushing into a relationship, rushing to resolve a relationship, or rushing to escape a relationship are all akin to rushing on ice. Each invites a painful fall. Seek to establish relationships slowly and on proper principles, to allow them to evolve naturally and to resolve disputes with patience and reserve. If your primary relationship, that with the sage, is open and ongoing and devoted, then all other relationships will fall into place. Now, let me clarify that. The sage is your higher self. If your relationship with your higher self is open and ongoing and devoted, then all other relationships will fall into place. Okay? And now I'm going to read the 5th line because you had a line change. Disdain for those below or envy of those above prevents your progress. Strive not to achieve a goal or have an influence, but to embody proper virtue. In this way, your success is assured. Was that all the messages for A?
One more.
We got one more message for you. 1 second. Okay, my beautiful A's. This is still your message, the group that chose A. Because of your changing line, we had to go into a whole new hexagram. So now you have just the lake by itself. We're dealing with the lake hexagram. And the title is Twe, the joyous lake. True joy is expressed by those who are strong within and gentle without. The hexagram Twe teaches us how to come into possession of joy. In our search for success and happiness, we are prone to think that we must take aggressive actions to achieve them. The instruction of the I Ching is just the opposite. Only those who practice innocence, acceptance, and detachment inherit true joy in this world. We often see around us how forcible effort brings about what appears to be progress. Our egos tempt us to believe that these gains are lasting and valuable, but the truth is otherwise. Whatever is won by the desirous ambition, demanding manipulations of the ego will soon be lost. Others can always be temporarily browbeaten into doing things our way, but only hearts won by friendliness and sincere goodwill are true over time. Okay? The I Ching teaches us again and again that joy and success cannot be forced or stolen. They are achieved gradually but steadily by those who relate correctly to others and to the higher power. To relate correctly means to steadfastly practice innocence, detachment, acceptance, modesty, and gentleness. Life is full of shortcuts, but this is the only route that leads to true joy. The image of the hexagram is that of 2 lakes joined together to keep from drying up. 2 lakes joined together to keep from drying up, okay? It is an encouragement to us to join with like-minded friends now in the discussion and contemplation of higher things. If we engage in an ongoing conversation about proper principles with our friends, our relationship to truth is steady and our ego cannot seduce us into the doubt, fear, and anxiety that lead away from joy. In your heart, be firm in holding to what is good and honest and correct. In your thoughts and actions, be gentle and accepting. Those who persevere on this path will meet with true joy and lasting success. Those are the messages for my group that chose A. I shall return with the next group's messages. All right, my group B'ers. Here we go. Everybody who chose group B, these are your messages. You got Lake Thunder, okay? That is the name of your hexagram. And the message, the title of this message is Sway, following, okay? It's spelled S-U-I. Some of these words I know I'm not pronouncing properly. Don't go there with me, okay? Okay, thank you. I appreciate it. Do not argue with what is simply, oh, I can't read all of a sudden. Oh no, I'm losing it. Let me start again. Do not argue with what is. Simply follow the progress of truth. Wisdom teaches us that in order to obtain a following, the aid and agreement of others, we must first ourselves practice following. This is done by steadfastly observing what is correct and putting it into practice. In other words, we follow the sage. This hexagram comes to remind you to make it possible for others to be loyal and helpful to you by redevoting yourself to following inner truth. Redevoting yourself to following inner truth. Your inner truth. Okay? It is essential now to quietly accept the way that things are. This does not necessarily mean that you endorse or celebrate current circumstances, just that you do not resist them. Acceptance is the most fundamental principle in the philosophy of the I Ching. To resist events is similar to resisting the turning of the earth. You only exhaust yourself in vain. To resolve a difficult situation, follow the good within yourself. Whatever correction is necessary to make possible, whatever correction is necessary is made possible in this way. The peace blossoms quickest where proper principles are given expression. Leading others is a delicate art, and our motto in this is always the sage. Proceed gently with balance, staying unattached to results, and free of egotistical pretensions. Lead the people by following the sage, and a good result will always be had. And you had a line change, so we're going to move over to your line, which is 3. Line 3, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes following the good requires that we forego a pleasure of the ego. When some part of your self-image would separate from your truth, let it fall away. I'm going to read that to y'all again. Sometimes following the good requires that we forego a pleasure of the ego. When some part of your self-image would separate from truth, let it fall away. Okay? I'll be back with the rest of your message. All right, my bees. I'm still reading, or not reading, but reading, right? This is weird. It's new. Deal with it. Okay, so this is still for group B. Okay? Because you had a line change, you've got a new hexagram, and it's called Lake Fire. Okay? Revolution is the title. Devotion to truth enables a revolution. Okay? The hexagram announces the arrival of a time of revolution. A set of conditions, internal or external, or both, is ready to pass away in favor of a more beneficial situation. What enables the transformation is your conscious and vigorous adherence to correct thought and behavior. No revolution in outer things is possible without a prior revolution in one's inner way of being. Whatever change you aspire to in your affairs must be preceded by a change in heart, an active deepening and strengthening of your resolve to meet every event with equanimity, detachment, and innocent goodwill. When this spiritual poise is achieved within, magnificent things are possible without. The revolutions of others are enabled, so let me back that up. Give me a moment. The revolutions of others are enabled also when we refine the fire of goodness and truth inside of ourselves. Sincere commitment to higher things travels outward in powerful waves from the superior person, and all those around are affected by this. Indisputably, to lead one's inner self to truth and peace is to lead the outer world to truth and peace. A beneficial revolution is assured to one who takes this path now. 1 second. That was my message for the group that chose B. I'm about to drink some water because, yeah, I'm jacking up the reading. I did good with the A's, and then the B's, I started having to, fix myself. So I'm gonna drink some water. I'll be right back with group C. All right, my group C. last but not least, right? Your hexagram is named Heaven Fire, okay? The title for your message is Tung Jin, Fellowship with Others. In fellowship with others, embody the principles of the sage, your higher self, right? This hexagram addresses the proper basis for relationships with others. It generally comes as a sign that some kind of self-correction is in order in this area. Proper relationships, whether in love, work, family, or friendship, must be founded on and conducted under proper principles in order to succeed. Our model for how to behave with others is the sage. In relating, we are obliged to practice kindness, humility, correctness, equanimity, and openness. Wherever we depart from these, we lose the aid of the higher power and risk an encounter with misfortune. The fundamental rule of the Ching for the conduct of relationships is that they take place in the open. This means that every facet of a relationship should be seen as fair and correct by everyone concerned, not just yourself. It also means that it is improper to enter into or continue in relationships with unspoken reservations or hidden intentions. Exceptional things can be accomplished by those who come together correctly in fellowship now under the guidance of an enlightened leader or leaders. Seek that role by patterning yourself after the sage. Meet others halfway in a spirit of sincerity and receptivity. Give trust to where it is due. Where it is not, do not resort to harshness. Reserve and reticence are adequate measures. Okay? I'm going to read that line again. Give trust to where it is due. Where it is not, do not resort to harshness. Reserve and reticence are adequate measures. Avoid the formation of factions and cliques, and correct your errors in relationships as soon as you become aware of them. In this way, you can accomplish magnificent deeds now. Which line?
2.
You had a line change, so I got to read a line for you. Do not form factions or cliques, either by excluding others or by failing to correct yourself in some way. Misfortune results when unity and truth are ignored. I'll be back with the rest of your message. All right, my C's, this is the rest of your message. You have a new hexagram, and that is heaven, heaven, okay? Ching, the creative. If you are alert to the creative, you will meet with good fortune now, okay? This hexagram signals a time when the fundamental creative power of the universe is available to you. An unrestricted outpouring of benevolent energy from the heavens makes possible profound progress for those who are conscientiously following proper principles. Frantic activity is not in order. Your responsibility instead is to be open and receptive to higher power, allowing it to guide your actions. By allowing inferior thoughts and habits to pass away, you make room for an expansion of your superior qualities, which leads inevitably to good fortune. Right? I'm finding my place, y'all. Give me a moment. This is why I don't be looking at y'all when I read, because then I got to do this. The sun is in my face. Just give me a moment. You can stare at me while I find my place. Bam. Okay, so in your conduct with others, embody tolerance, reticence, and gentleness. Strive to meet others halfway in every situation. To overextend yourself or require that another or require that of another is to create an undesirable imbalance. Your attitude toward the sage is most important. Alertness and receptiveness are paramount. To receive the powerful assistance of the creative, I'm gonna go back. Oh my goodness. I do need to go back because my alarm was just going off and I don't know if it cut the sound off. Your attitude toward the sage is important. Alertness and receptiveness are paramount. To receive the powerful assistance of the creative, remain humble, patient, accepting, and responsive. Careful attention to truth brings vast rewards at this time. No lines, yeah? That was the messages I had for the C's. We have reached the end of this video. This is the first video like this. I would love for you to comment and let me know if you like this and if you want more of this Ching experience. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate your likes, shares, and subscribes. And until next time, my loves, have a beautiful day and manifest on.